Hi, lovelies. It's Meg from the Blissful Doula. Welcome back to our series on anxiety during pregnancy. In case you missed it, last week we talked about the anxiety during the first trimester. So, if you want to check that out, that's on the blog. And today we're going to be talking about anxiety during pregnancy being intimate. Now, I know that there comes a lot of questions and quite a bit of anxiety to couples when they talk about sex during pregnancy. I know I had lots of anxiety. I know my girlfriends, they had lots of questions, and my clients always have things that they want to know about what's safe and what's not. The things that we're going to talk about today are if you are having a low risk and a healthy pregnancy. Now, if that's the case, then sex is definitely encouraged. It promotes a good connection with your partner. It releases oxytocin, which is that feel-good hormone, and it's generally absolutely something that's safe for you and for baby. However, if you are experiencing placenta previa, if you have a history of incompetent cervix, if you have had a history of preterm labor or are at risk for preterm labor, then that's something that your healthcare providers might want to talk to you about, and they might talk about abstaining from sex. So today, though, what I'm going to talk about is the things if you're having a low risk pregnancy. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is it safe to have sex during pregnancy? So this is usually the first thing that people ask. So the good news is that your body is amazing. There's something called the mucus plug, and so it actually acts as a protective barrier to keep anything from going into the cervix. So if mom or dad or partner or whoever is worried about penetration hurting the baby, the good news is that as long as your mucus plug is intact, and that shouldn't be something that you worry about. Your mucus plug is something that you will lose in your third trimester. It can a few weeks or a couple days before you actually go into labor. So as long as that's intact, then sex should be totally safe during pregnancy. The next thing I wanted to talk about was sex during the first trimester. So last week we talked about a lot of different things that might be giving you anxiety during that first trimester. And so sex is totally safe during the first trimester. However, there is a chance that there could be some spotting. So if you know that you are already kind of experienced a little bit of anxiety, like I talked about, I had so much anxiety during my first trimester. So if you know that you're already a little sensitive to that, then waiting until the end of the first trimester when your cervix isn't as sensitive might help in kind of keeping that anxiety a little lower. The next thing I want to talk about is an increase or a decrease in your libido. So, lots of women have a change in their libido during their pregnancy. I know women who have gone from not having a super high sex drive to wanting sex a lot, pretty much every day. And it might sound funny, but this actually did provide some of them quite a substantial amount of anxiety. It was kind of like a hunger, like they really needed to have that sexual satisfaction, and they were actually pretty upset if that didn't happen. So it kind of did bring up a little bit of anxiety. It was a little outside of their normal behavior. So I just wanted to touch on that if you are experiencing that it's totally normal. There's a lot of hormonal changes going on, and an increase in libido could be one of them for you. On the opposite side of that, you could experience a decrease in libido. Like I said, there's a lot of different factors at play during pregnancy, especially if you're having morning sickness, if you're feeling emotional, if you're not feeling physically comfortable, then those are all things that could be leading to a lower libido. You might just not be in the mood, and that's totally okay. Respecting where you're at is so, so important. If you're not in the mood, then just telling your partner, having those open lines of communication and having those honest discussions about how you're feeling and respecting where both of you are at is the best way to keep that relationship healthy moving forward. And the last thing that I wanted to touch on today is when to have sex after the baby comes. So the recommendation is to wait 6 weeks after the baby has arrived before having sex. And that's because any spotting or bleeding that might have been happening after birth is usually subsided by that time, and recovery should be going well. So that's the recommendation. Obviously, everyone is different, and everything that I talked about today um, might be affecting you and it might not be affecting you. If you're having no anxiety, then that's fantastic. If all of these things are bothering you, then that's totally normal too. I cannot stress enough how important it is to talk about the things that are bothering you. If you're worried or nervous, or if you're having fears about things, discussing them can just help lift them off of your shoulders and make it just feel that much more comfortable. So talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to your healthcare provider, or talk to your doula. You can always message me. I always want to know how everyone's doing. I want to make sure that you're feeling comfortable and confident and not full of anxiety, right? Um, so if you guys want, you can comment on the blog or comment on the Facebook page. So that's the Blissful Doula Sudbury. Because I want to hear your experiences. I want to know what gave you anxiety during pregnancy, or what is giving you anxiety during your pregnancy. I want to totally learn from your experiences. Or you can also subscribe to theblissfuldoula.com, and then you can actually have the next installment of Anxiety During Pregnancy come straight to your mailbox. So next week, we're actually going to be talking about weight gain and exercise during pregnancy and how those can bring up some anxiety. You can always contact me at meg@theblissfuldoula.com, and I hope you guys are just having the most fabulous day, and I will talk to you soon.